Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel.
For centuries now, humans have been fascinated by the idea of ghosts and other strange phenomenons. Perhaps it's the thought that something could be lurking in the deepest, darkest shadows of our Earth, causing us to latch on to the belief that there is much more out there than we will ever know. Regardless of what you believe in, there is no denying that these places on the list are some of the creepiest places. With that being said, here are 10 of the most haunted places in Pennsylvania. Number 1. Hillview Manor. Built in 1926 and located in Newcastle, Pennsylvania, it was once an abandoned poorhouse that was converted into a nursing home. The facility housed inmates, patients with severe mental illness, the elderly, and even some children stayed at this country-style home during the Great Depression. Hillview Manor is known for its many suicides, with residents unaliving themselves by hangings or jumping to their deaths. It is reported that a total of 10,000 people have died on the property, many of which were buried on site in unmarked graves. Disembodied voices such as the words "I'm Jim" have often been captured by the people who visit, along with a ghost by the name of Jeffrey, who has been known to wander and play in the halls of the facility. Other paranormal activity involves the sounds of screaming, people physically touched, and people violently pushed. You can visit the manor as young as 12 years old and even go on a private investigation. Being that you are accompanied by an adult, of course. Come on, Tommy, we're gonna send you down the basement all alone. Number 2. Eastern State Penitentiary. Located in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and built in 1829, it was the very first prison to introduce solitary confinement. Inmates often ate, worked out, slept, and pretty much lived in total isolation, causing many inmates to go completely insane. But that's not all, as inmates were often subjected to both physical and psychological torture. These punishments included being whipped, branded, or having their tongues chained to their wrists. And during the cold winter months, inmates would be doused with freezing cold water. Due to their harsh nature, they were forced to shut down in 1971, causing the prison to become abandoned. Ever since then, paranormal activity has made itself present. In cell block 4, people have witnessed ghostly faces appearing throughout the cells. In cell block 6, shadowy figures have been seen darting across the halls, and in cell block 12, evil cackling has been heard echoing throughout the prison walls. I don't know about you, but evil cackling, that's not right. That's terrifying. Number 3. Old Jail Museum. Located in Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, and built in 1871, this fortress-like structure has 27 cells, including a dungeon-like basement which was often used for solitary confinement. 4 coal miners who were allegedly members of the Molly Maguires, a secret society of the Irish Americans, were hanged for the murders of 2 mine bosses. Just before execution, it is said that one of the coal miners slapped his muddy hand against the wall and said, "There is proof of my words. That mark of mine will never be wiped out. It will remain forever to shame the county for hanging an innocent man." Despite all efforts of trying to remove this handprint, it apparently still remains there to this day. Reports of apparitions and strange shadow figures have been witnessed throughout the building, along with loud bangs coming from the darkness of the solitary confinement cells. In the kitchen area, objects are known to move around, and the sounds of pots and pans have often been heard clanging together. Number 4. Fort Mifflin. Built in 1771 and located in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Fort Mifflin is credited towards saving America. It was used to fight in a number of wars, like the Revolutionary War, Civil War, and even World War I and World War II. Many soldiers have lost their lives here. Approximately 250 soldiers have lost their lives within the compound. Visitors who explore the fort will often see the spirits of soldiers cleaning their guns and smell an aroma like bread baking or wood fire burning. Also, unexplained screams of a woman will happen at random, but the most infamous ghost is the Faceless Man. He is said to roam around the property wearing Civil War attire. A ghost without a face. No thanks. Number 5, Pennhurst Asylum. Built in 1903 and located in Spring City, Pennsylvania, this state-funded school and hospital once housed patients with mental illness, physical handicaps, orphans, and even criminals. Within 4 years of its opening in 1908, the facility dealt with major overcrowding, not only due to accepting all walks of life, but because they would keep patients if they felt they were unfit for society. Patients were treated inhumanely by being tied down to their beds, often lying in their own urine and feces. When patients misbehaved by biting staff or other patients, they would remove each and every single tooth from their mouths. In 1968, a documentary series called Suffer the Little Children would expose the harsh treatments and conditions inside Pennhurst, and in 1987, Pennhurst would come to a close, leaving dark energy behind. Since its closing, it is said the facility has come alive with spirits, angered for the torture they endured. Some of the paranormal activity involves the sounds of screaming, vomiting, doors slamming, and even the spirit of a little girl is said to roam around the buildings. When it comes to a place being haunted, this one is surely one of the most haunted places. Number 6, Sax Covered Bridge. Built in 1852 and located in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, this 100-foot long, 15.5 wide bridge is the most historic bridge in all of Pennsylvania. Union and Confederate armies used the bridge during the Battle of Gettysburg during the American Civil War. According to the legend, 3 Confederate soldiers were convicted of being spies and were supposedly hanged from inside the bridge. Their bodies were later discovered by Union soldiers patrolling the area. Visitors have experienced a wide variety of paranormal activity, such as the smell of cigar smoke, distant cannon fire, full-bodied apparitions, and physically having their hair pulled. Number 7, Mishler Theater. Built in 1906 and located in Altoona, Pennsylvania, this theater would catch fire within just 9 months of its opening, forcing the theater to reopen just 1 year later in 1907. The venue quickly became popular, hosting famous names like Harry Houdini and John Wayne, just to name a few. It is said when Isaac Mishler, the former owner of the theater, passed away in 1944, he returned to the theater and never left. Visitors have reported smelling cigar smoke or seeing a man who looks like Isaac Mishler roaming around the building wearing tall or floppy hats. Other activity involves a woman dressed in 1930s clothing, seen in the restroom powdering her nose. Also a man looking through a phone book, vanishing just before anybody can get close enough to him. If I were a ghost and my soul was trapped in a place, I'd be looking up all kinds of numbers. Yeah, hi, is this Domino's? Yeah, can I order a large pizza? Number 8, Farnsworth House Inn. Originally named the Sleepy Hollow Inn. It was built in 1810 and is located in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. During the Battle of Gettysburg, the house served as a hospital for wounded Union soldiers and Confederate armies. As a result of that, many men died inside. It is believed that a total of 16 spirits occupy the inn, starting with a woman dressed in 19th century clothing, looking over at products in the kitchen as if she is deciding what she'll make for dinner. Other spirits involve an 8-year-old boy and many sightings of Confederate and Union soldiers passing through. Number 9, Hotel Bethlehem. Built in 1922 and located in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, this hotel was first a general store before becoming a modern-style hotel. In 1989, a major fire broke out on the 4th floor. A guest had plugged in an iron which caused a large flash from the outlet which caught fire. The fire was attempted to be put out, but the fire was just too big, spreading up to the 5th floor. The fire was eventually extinguished, but 4 people would perish and another 14 people would suffer due to their injuries. It is said the hotel is haunted by those who passed away in the fire. This includes a German man by the name of Franco Daddy Thomas, who is said to haunt the boiler room. Another spirit by the name of Mary Yowie is said to perform for guests in the hotel lobby. Other paranormal activity involves disembodied voices, vacuums turning on and moving around, papers flying off desks, and wallpaper changing color. Also, it is said spirits will wake up guests in the middle of the night. Imagine a ghost nudging you awake. Hey man, you were waking me up with all of that snoring. Number 10, Betsy Ross House. Built in 1740 and located in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The Betsy Ross House was built more than 250 years ago, and she would occupy the residence during the American Revolutionary War. While she was living there, she designed and sewed the very first American flag. During the next century, the house was both a residence and a place of business for many different owners. In 1980, two security guards had an argument down in the basement of the house, which ended in an ugly situation, leaving one of the men shot and left for dead. Visitors and staff often hear disembodied voices coming from the basement, along with a dark presence lurking in the parlor room where the ghost of Betsy Ross has been seen crying. Other visitors have felt the sensation of being touched in the director's office. Apparently, there are a ton of spirits on the property, lost souls who seem to be trapped for an eternity. Alright guys, well these were 10 of the most haunted places in Pennsylvania. If you enjoyed the video, could you go ahead and leave me a like, as it would really help me out in the algorithm. And honestly, there are way more haunted places in Pennsylvania, but these are the ones I picked out for this video. Alright guys, thank you for watching. I will see you next time.